We just got some amazing, massive Diablo 4 leaks. New class, new expansion, new season. Let's see how it is.
There's Diablo 4 leaks going on this week. In fact, if you just type in Diablo 4
Nice.
leaks, you're going to find all kinds of articles, pretty much as many as you care to read, about leaks in Diablo.
He's not using Google. That's smart. Google no longer can find anything. It just finds you the thing that gives you the most expensive ad.
4. They're talking about new expansion, new classes, etc. We're going to talk about how these leaks came to be, what the leaks are full of, and my impression of them. But just a quick reminder at the beginning of this channel name will be changing. You probably already noticed we have a new icon. It'll be changing to Darth Microtransaction TV. That's what
Smart.
the DM stands for. Make it easier for people to find me on Twitch, as my Twitch name is Darth Microtransaction. Just a reminder of that going in the future. So let's go ahead and get into these leaks and talk about where they came from. Now, in this article from MSN, it says right here that a group of players managed to access certain files from SteamBD. If you look up SteamBD, you'll see SteamBD is a third-party website that provides insights into the Steam platform and its game databases. Because Diablo 4 recently launched on Steam, now this database.
Buy Diablo 4 25% off already? Oh no! I want a refund. 25% off? Wow.
Is on Steam DB, and of course, because of that, it has been reverse engineered or data mined effectively to find out as much information as possible. So keep in mind, this is speculation.
Keep in mind, this is the only time in history Blizzard is going to be able to say, well, it's not our fault that this thing got leaked.
Because we've seen data mines before, World Tier 5, etc. was shown, other gems have been shown. We even had art associated with it, but that is not in the game yet. So even if this is actually factually in the code, this doesn't mean fundamentally it's right around the corner. Just a disclaimer from the beginning, it's speculation. Now,
people forget one thing about data mining. Yeah, it's in the game files, but there's so many reasons why it can't be in the game files. 1, someone forgot to remove it. 2, unfinished idea that they have abandoned. 3, they're gonna put it in the game. There are so many reasons why something can be in the game's code. And and a lot of times it's just someone's being sloppy and forgot to remove it after testing or something like that. So yeah. Do not think data mine means set in stone. There's a chance that that may happen, but it doesn't mean it's gonna happen.
These data miners believe they've uncovered an expansion called the Lord of Hatred. All right, and if you scroll down and read further, this is one of the first annual expansions, and keep in mind, we do know expansions are real, confirmed. They said that...
Who's the Lord of Hatred, boys? It's our boy.
You should expect yearly expansions to the game. Because of both how the story ended, as well as the title Lord of Hatred, Mephisto being the focus would actually make quite a bit of sense if you're...
Yeah. Meppy's title is literally that. It's great. And by the way, Mephisto is probably honestly, him and Ball are the better parts of Diablo. Diablo himself, lame and boring. Okay, he can't feel fear. Kind of dumb.
You remember at the end of the campaign, spoiler alert, if you haven't actually played D4 yet, at the end of the campaign, Mephisto ends up basically running off inside of the soul stone, which was put inside of one of our companions who ran out into the desert.
Yeah, the girl that everyone hates is really annoying, and she just magically popped up out of nowhere. The campaign would have been so much better if they just removed the random girl with the frying pan on the back who just randomly appears out of nowhere. It would have been better.
Then who knows exactly what she went and did. That's the TLDR. Sure, I'm explaining it terribly, but basically Mephisto isn't dead. He's just encapsulated once again.
They're never dead.
And if you ask me, he kind of seemed like he got what he wanted. Didn't really seem like he was that opposed.
Yeah. Yeah. The whole story of Diablo 4, even though I didn't pay a lot of attention to it, is essentially, well, Lilith's kind of dead, but Mephisto's still getting everything he wants.
To the idea of it. Now, the data miners say there's going to be a new region called Cursed, and this appeared in Diablo 2 as well.
Cursed. It's everyone's not favorite region in Diablo 2, but that's fine.
Well, it's the capital city of Kazakhstan, which we've already got in the game as well. There's other interesting tidbits, though. An NPC hiring system. So I've been playing Diablo 2 for the first time.
Yes! I want mercs in Diablo 4 because they're going to be better than in Diablo 2, which means you're going to have, more than just Act 2 mercenaries.
Somewhat recently, and
Nice.
being able to have a mercenary follows you around higher than
That's super
even
cool.
D3 had this type of system, right? I could see this as well coming to the game.
Yeah.
They
I
also say
love mercenaries. Like, Diablo 3. Okay, let's just forget about Diablo 3 existing even, okay? Let's say, well, no reason to mention these painful memories, but Diablo 4 with a mercenary? Hell yeah, brother, I would love that. That would be amazing.
a new class called Spiritborn, which may have a nature-based focus. A nature-based focus would be weird
What do you mean? We already have a druid.
for me, considering that we already have the druid.
Yeah.
But Spiritborn, the name makes a little bit of sense.
I mean, spirit born as in. I don't. There's. Okay? One thing that I know for certain is class names don't mean anything. Class names really don't mean anything. Okay? A druid just randomly creating a boulder, yeah, that's also kind of random and not druidy at all, in my honest opinion. But that's fine, you know. So Spiritborn, yeah. What can we gouge from that? Nothing. Sounds
And
cool
so I
though.
was thinking that there might be some room for some kind of like religious, holy, unholy type of class in the game, and maybe a spirit-based class instead. Now, we already know that expansions are coming. They have big Diablo 4 announcements they keep kind of hyping up on Twitter, or X, I suppose it's called now, over and over and over again. And by the way, if you want to follow me on Twitter, you can. I'll have that in the link down below. But they do seem to be leading up to some sort of big announcement. And with the subliminal thing they keep talking about, well, yes, there will be annual expansions, etc. An expansion lining up for June would be that first year. Now, personally, while Season of the Blood, I mean, I'm just going to get into my opinion here. While Season of the Blood, in my opinion, is significantly better than Season 1, it's a massive upgrade.
Season 2 is unreasonably better than I think every one of us expected, right? I expected way less when we got more. Admittedly, that more is still kind of not great, but it's more than I expected.
Great for the game. I don't believe the game is ready to sell an expansion. I don't think at this time consumers would pay another, let's say, a $40 for an expansion in the game. I still am of the belief that we need to round out the core of the game. This expansion, in my opinion, would need to be like a free addition to the game or a very cheap addition to the game. Let's say the same price as a battle pass, and then you get a battle pass for free or something with it, $15, $20 at the absolute most. But I wouldn't want to see a $40 or $60 expansion.
I want a free battle pass.
Even though the game is getting better, I think the fundamentals that we need in the game, like an in-game, etc., should be added to the game before we build on top of it. In the article from MSN, there's also a Russian YouTuber here that, and I'll leave a link to this MSN article, which links back to his video, etc., in case you want to watch it.
New class. No idea what that second word is. There's new class and new act. Okay, that's nice. What is the second? What is the third word? Mercenaries. That means mercenaries.
Yourself. But he talks about the upcoming Spiritborn class, talks about glaive is going to be their primary weapons and elements of nature, and then mentions the plains.
Glaive sounds cool.
And the jungle.
Wait, no, glaive sounds stupid. Do they mean Illidan glaives or actual glaives as in the spinning things that the blood elves throw? There's two kind of glaives. That's one. Two, glaives. You know why I don't like the idea of glaives or any special weapon? It's because, well, if you have a special weapon, it's supposed to be better. It's supposed to be the thing that you use because it has the best bonuses or something like that for you. Because it's your special thing, right? And, well, I don't want that at all. If a class has a special weapon only they can use, that's kind of big suck if it's truly special.
Locations. Now, a jungle location would make sense for nature. I guess the plains would as well. So maybe we are getting another nature type of person. The leak also goes into detail about season 3, saying that's going to be called Dreamscape, that we're going to get 500 more storages, and that there's
Dreamscape, you mean as in the early 2000s song that everyone used for their World of Warcraft compilations and random MacGuffins? That one. No, I can't even do it properly. Yeah, that one.
there's also going to be raids coming to the game as well. So we have a
Ooh, a
we have a
raid.
whole lot of leaked.
Okay. Please, turn Diablo 4 into Lost Ark. I will be happy. I will not lie. I will be big happy. Turn Diablo 4 into Lost Ark. It's the best thing that could ever happen to the shit game. Yeah, sure, it's gonna lose 99.9% of its player base, but do I care? No.
Expectations here. We have raids, a new class, basically new story, storage space. We got a lot that's being predicted at the
Admittedly, as we all already know, world bosses are too challenging for the average Diablo player, where their attacks are scripted and take 5 seconds to land. Is there anyone in this game who can actually finish a raid? Like, that's the question. Diablo 4 is. I'm complaining about it being too easy. He's complaining about it being too easy. Then you go to a world boss, and when no one has an OP one-shot build, and you see what happens is, people just get wiped. People just get wiped. Diablo 4 should be made easier, honestly, than harder. So, how are people gonna deal with raids?
moment. I actually think raids could be a pretty cool addition. I think a reason to play together and to have in-game content. I did Uber Durio while sick at like level 92 with a bad druid build and was able to beat them on hardcore solo self-found. Was perfectly fine. So the in-game content in this game is still lacking in my personal opinion. However, it is getting better. Okay, just going to keep saying that because sometimes people think I'm just shitting on the game. I'm just being realistic. I think we need more in-game content, but I think that it is actually getting better. Raids, in my opinion, would be, I'm going to use the term, a step in the right direction and actually probably potentially solve the issue. I don't know how many of you guys played games like.
To be honest, like, how do you solve the issue of the late game in this? It's really, really hard. Because Diablo is doing this, considering they have very bad item design, because the items are just super simplistic. Like, right, every class has like three main things that they want, and pretty much it's like, you know, pointing up, green arrow. That's good. You equip that. Don't even think about it. Considering that's how simplistic Diablo 4's items are, it's really hard to make a proper endgame, because the reality is, it's like, it should take us time to get to the endgame, but the way Diablo 4 is done, considering the itemization is so bad, everything around it is so bad, people want to get to the endgame faster, because everything until the endgame seems completely and utterly 100% sad and pointless. There are no rewards, there are nothings, okay, to improve that. So people want to get to the end game. So Blizzard is making the end game more accessible. But then we come to the realization that any end game that they implement in a system like that, where it takes no effort to get to the end game, is going to be bad. So at this point, the only way to create an end game that lasts more than 3 days for most people who actually want to play the end game is just adding something that has a lockout timer. I wouldn't be surprised if they come to that conclusion.
Like Lost Ark, but if they were able to implement Lost Ark style raids into the game, or an mmorpg style raid where you got to group up with your friends, you all have to go in different parts of the boss, do different types of mechanics, and you have to work together as a team, as opposed to the world boss where you all just show up into a giant punching bag and none of what the other person on your left or right is doing matters for what you're doing. If fundamentally these raids are cooperative, it might actually have a reason to have a clan, might fix some of the social systems, etc. It might have a reason for players to interact and make the world feel more alive. So for me, out of all of this, even though we're seeing expansions, storage, new class, all that, raids are the one that potentially for me would be the most exciting, because it solves, in my opinion, one of the biggest issues in the game. Now, I still think we need crafting. I think crafting would be a big
True.
one. We don't have set gear. There's a bunch of
But
stuff.
we're not gonna get the worst possible outcome is we get crafting before we get actual items that matter. Itemization. The overall itemization of Diablo 4 is just ass, bad, trash, and sad. Okay, if we get crafting added to the game, while itemization itself is just this sad and bad, yeah, I'm not gonna be a fan probably.
Stuff we could still add into the game. I don't know if they're actually ever planning to do set gear, to be honest with you. I was kind of mixed on set gear in D3 anyway.
Set gear is gonna ruin the game. The moment they add set gear, I'm out, boys. I'm out. Because it's gonna the moment they add set gear, it's gonna instantaneously turn into Diablo 3, okay? So, here's your set. It has a 300% damage reducer. It has a 20 to 2,000% damage increaser for some kind of random thing. Guess why? Why? Well, because otherwise you can't play the game properly. It's just no. No.
I feel like set gear really pigeonholed me into this is the best set for this season. You just put on the set and then you're kind of bored, all right? And I know some seasons weren't always like that, but for me, as a casual D3 Andy, that's what it felt like. So I'm not necessarily in the boat of like we have to have sets, but I do think
D3 was a great game to play for 2 days when you got bored and you had absolutely nothing to do. But after that, you just forget about it, and that's kind of it.
crafting into the game more so than what we have with just the enchanting would be a big W. And if we have the raids, maybe get crafting materials out of it. Maybe we get, better Uber Uniques. I don't know what they're going to add to this.
Literally,
but I think raids could be quite interesting. But no matter what, all of this is just data mines and a leak from a Russian YouTuber. That's all we're going off of, which is off of the Steam database. Again, I put out a video about a data miner who had World Tier 5 and new gem slots and all that very early. I mean, we're talking...
I did not see that.
Talking like first month of D4 launch, we were already getting data mines, and that stuff hasn't been added to the game yet either. So let's say even these are in the game files, this could be a year and a half, or more down the road. This could be something they're just testing. We don't actually know. But with that being said, I'm going to go live today. Tomorrow I have to go to... my ear actually did confirm ruptured, so I have to go to...
How did you... my bet was that his ear didn't rupture, because if your ear ruptures, isn't that, like, super painful? That's probably really painful, isn't it? Also, my ear has been clogged. It feels super strange to literally not hear anything with one ear, and you just hear with the other one. Kind of super strange, honestly.
To a specialist tomorrow, so today is going to be the last live...
How does he even have a specialist in Alaska? Questionable. Also, this is the new icon. I mean, it's kind of good, but I think this... I don't know. I would like more soul in this icon, but that's okay, Skills. Anyway, this was Quizzer and thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. And well, this was our boy DM, aka Skittles. Bye-bye.